There comes a moment in every life when pain becomes the teacher and struggle becomes the classroom. You begin to see that every challenge was never against you, it was preparing you. The world does not break the strong, it builds them. You were never meant to escape the storms, you were meant to rise above them. When you stop letting others control your emotions, you step into your true power. No insult, no rejection, no disappointment can shake you. Once you understand that peace is not found in others, it is built within yourself. The person who can master their mind can walk through fire and never be burned. You must learn to let go of the need for approval because approval is a chain. You must release the past because the past is a prison. And you must stand tall in silence when the noise of the world tries to shake your faith. Every great soul walked alone before they walked among the crowd. Every dreamer was once called foolish until they succeeded, and every believer was once tested beyond their strength until they found their inner power. You are not here to be liked, you are here to live with purpose. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to grow through pain. And when you learn these truths, nothing outside of you can ever touch the calm that lives inside you. This is the moment you stop reacting and start creating. You stop fearing and start believing. You stop waiting and start becoming. Because once you learn these lessons, nobody and nothing will affect you again. Emotional control is the foundation of inner mastery. Because when you lose control of your emotions, you give your power away to every person who crosses your path. Every insult, every negative word, and every disappointment begins to shape how you feel and act. You must learn that your emotions are your responsibility, no one else's. When you react in anger or fear, you hand over the keys to your peace to someone who never earned them. The one who controls your emotions controls your life. The truth is that most people live their entire lives in reaction. They react to opinions, they react to failure, they react to rejection, they let the outside world decide how they feel inside. But the day you decide to stay calm when the world expects you to break is the day you become powerful beyond measure. It is not weakness to stay calm. It is strength of the highest form. It means you understand that storms will come, but your peace does not depend on the weather. There will be times when people will test you, when life will shake you, when everything seems designed to provoke you, yet you will find a deep silence within you that does not move. You will begin to smile at situations that once broke you. You will start to see that peace is not the absence of chaos. It is the ability to remain centered in the middle of it. Every time you refuse to react in anger, every time you choose patience over panic, you train your mind to rise higher. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can always control how you respond to them. That is where real freedom lives. No one can disturb your peace unless you give them permission. When you reach this level of awareness, life begins to serve you differently because you no longer move from emotion. You move from wisdom. Your calmness becomes your strength, and your silence becomes your victory. Inner strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build through fire. It is the quiet power that grows inside you every time you fall and get back up, every time you fail and keep going, every time you face fear and choose faith. The world tries to convince you that strength is loud, that it is about showing power or dominance. But real strength is silent. It is built in moments when no one sees you fighting your own battles inside your own mind. When life hits you and everything feels heavy, you have two choices. You can let the pain define you, or you can let it refine you. Pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. It shapes your character and builds your resilience. Every challenge you face is a lesson in disguise, a call from the universe telling you to dig deeper and discover who you truly are. You learn that strength is not the absence of struggle, but the courage to walk through it. You start to realize that every failure was preparing you for a greater version of yourself. Every heartbreak was teaching you compassion. Every setback was training you for the comeback. You become unshakable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get wiser. You stop running from discomfort and start walking with it because you understand that growth and comfort cannot exist together. Inner strength is forged when you stop asking why things happen to you and start asking what they are trying to teach you. When you see pain as purpose, fear loses its power. You begin to trust that every wound carries wisdom and every scar tells a story of survival. The strongest souls are not those who never fell, but those who refuse to stay down. They know that nothing and no one can truly break them, because everything that was meant to destroy them only made them stronger. Letting go of the need for approval is one of the most liberating steps in life, because as long as you seek validation from others, you will always be a prisoner to their opinions. The world is filled with voices telling you who you should be, how you should live, and what success should look like, but none of those voices can ever define your worth. True confidence is built when you stop chasing acceptance and start embracing authenticity. Every time you bend yourself to please others, you lose a piece of your soul. You begin to hide your truth just to fit into the expectations of people who do not even understand your journey. Approval is a chain that keeps your spirit small. It whispers that you are not enough unless someone else says you are. The moment you stop listening to that voice, you reclaim your freedom. You no longer need the applause to know your value, because your value was never dependent on noise. People will criticize you when you rise, and they will judge you when you fall. It does not matter what you do. Someone will always have something to say, but once you realize that their words reflect their own limitations, not yours, you stop taking them personally. You learn to walk with calmness while others talk. You learn to shine even when others doubt your light, because you are no longer performing for the crowd. You are living for the truth within you. You must remember that greatness never grows in the shadow of approval. Every great thinker, every leader, every visionary was once misunderstood. The path of authenticity is often lonely, but it is the only path that leads to freedom. When you stop needing to be liked, you start becoming powerful. You start making decisions not from fear, but from clarity. You stop living a borrowed life and start living your real one. Forgiveness and release are not signs of weakness. They are acts of strength that free your heart from invisible chains. The pain you carry from the past does not just live in your memories. It lives in your energy. It shapes how you see yourself and how you respond to life. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. The truth is that the longer you hold on, the heavier it becomes, until it drains the joy and peace from your soul. There will be people who hurt you, betray you, or walk away without explanation. There will be moments that break your trust and leave scars that feel permanent. But healing begins the moment you decide that. Your peace matters more than your anger. Forgiveness is not about forgetting what happened. It is about refusing to let it control you. It is about taking your power back from the hands of those who once took it from you. When you forgive, you do not excuse the past. You simply release its grip over your future. Releasing pain does not happen overnight. It is a process of facing your wounds and choosing to no longer let them define you. You begin to see that the past cannot be changed, but your relationship with it can. You start to understand that every painful experience was preparing you for a deeper strength, a clearer vision, and a wiser heart. Forgiveness opens the door for that transformation, because it clears the space where new energy can grow. There is peace waiting for you beneath all the hurt, but you can only feel it once you stop replaying the story of what went wrong. Every time you relive the past, you give it new life. Every time you release it, you create space for new beginnings. You must learn to let go, not for them, but for yourself, because carrying anger and regret only keeps you tied to what is gone. When you finally decide to release the weight of your past, you begin to rise with a lightness that nothing outside of you can give. Purpose over perfection is the mindset that separates those who live freely from those who live trapped in fear. The search for perfection is endless and exhausting, because it is built on the illusion that you must become flawless to be worthy. But purpose does not demand perfection. It demands presence. It asks that you show up fully even when you are uncertain, even when you are afraid, even when you are imperfect, because the truth is, no one ever became great by waiting to feel ready. Perfection is a mask that hides your true potential. It tells you that you must have everything figured out before you take the first step. It whispers that mistakes are failure, when in reality they are proof of growth. The pursuit of perfection keeps you paralyzed. It keeps you stuck in the planning phase of life, while your dreams slowly fade in the background. Purpose, on the other hand, sets you in motion. It gives meaning to your struggle and power to your persistence. It reminds you that your journey is not about being flawless, but about being real. When you live with purpose, you stop competing with others and start connecting with yourself. You no longer measure your worth by what people think or what you have accomplished, but by how deeply you live and how much you grow. You begin to see that every setback is a setup for transformation, and every flaw carries wisdom. Purpose gives you direction when everything else feels uncertain. It turns pain into passion and failure into fuel. There will always be voices that tell you you are not enough, that you are not ready, that you should wait until everything is perfect. But if you wait for perfect, you will wait forever. The most beautiful moments in life are born from imperfection. They are born when you choose courage over comfort and progress over perfection. When you act with purpose, every step you take becomes meaningful, even if it is messy, even if it is uncertain, because purpose is not about getting it right. It is about giving your all. An unshakable mindset is the foundation of peace that nothing external can touch. It is not something that appears overnight. It is built through consistent trials, through moments when everything around you falls apart, yet you choose to stand tall. It is the power to remain centered when the world pulls you in 1,000 directions. When your mind becomes unshakable, you stop being controlled by fear, doubt, and uncertainty. You no longer live at the mercy of what happens. You live through the strength of what you believe. Life will always test your stability. It will send storms to see what you are made of. It will shake your foundation to remind you to strengthen it. But those who rise are not those who never face pain. They are those who refuse to let pain define them. When you train your mind to stay calm under pressure, you begin to see life differently. You stop labeling situations as good or bad and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge becomes a teacher. Every failure becomes a message. Every delay becomes divine timing. Building an unshakable mindset means mastering the art of inner focus. It means protecting your energy and not allowing negativity to live rent-free in your mind. You start filtering your thoughts like you filter your food. You feed your mind with faith instead of fear, with gratitude instead of resentment, with strength instead of doubt. The more you discipline your mind, the more it begins to serve you instead of sabotage you. There will be moments when you feel lost, when your plans collapse and your confidence fades. But the one who has built an unshakable mind knows that these moments are temporary. You begin to move with patience instead of panic. You trust the process instead of fighting it. You become unmovable, not because you avoid the storm, but because you have learned to find stillness within it. Your calm becomes your weapon, your faith becomes your shield, and your focus becomes your path. And now you stand here stronger, wiser, and freer than you have ever been. You have learned that peace is not found in perfection, but in understanding. You have learned that real strength is born from pain, that forgiveness brings freedom, that purpose gives meaning, and that an unshakable mind can turn any darkness into light. The storms will still come. The noise will still rise, but nothing outside of you can ever touch the calm that lives within you. You are no longer controlled by the world because you have mastered yourself. And once you master yourself, nothing and nobody can affect you again.